Alright, I think it's working. Dear people of the year 2534, how the fuck are you still watching this? Honest to God, it's been 500 years since YouTube servers went down, and you somehow are watching this video. Did you download it on a flash drive? That's fucking weird. Anyway, it finally happened. I don't know how it happened, but I'm about to explain to you exactly how it happened. They released their new technology today, the Piece de Resistance. Actually, it might have been a few weeks ago. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. It might be a couple days. I got some stuff going on. I'm kind of busy. It's complicated. You don't know me. Anyway, we bought their new technology in hordes. We didn't understand it was sucking the life right out of us and giving them more power every second. I know. I bought one myself. That's right, Apple released the iPhone 6 today, and it's really fucking cool. Like, seriously? The front-facing camera this time is almost as good as quality as the back one. Like, you know how the front one always has a slightly low... Anyway, if you don't want Apple to rule the world, I just need you to keep an eye out, alright? Because we're starting a resistance movement, and we need your help. We need you to join the Android Insurrection. The fuck?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We made a pun. We made a pun!
The entirety of that opening joke did not apply to this movie.
Nah.
Not even a little bit.
Well, a little bit.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah, the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Android Insurrection.
We watched that movie.
Yeah, fuck you.
We didn't know how bad it was going to be.
No.
We didn't. Okay. We tried watching another movie. We straight out tried. And we're not going to say the title just in case we might
get around to it. Maybe.
It didn't quite pan out this time, but then
the actual quality of it was really shitty, and we didn't want to read subtitles yet, so
it's late. But we went to this one as a second choice, and it opened up to the most beautiful sight.
I didn't know this. I was unaware, and I broke out laughing.
Of Phase 4 films. If you don't know Phase 4. 1313.
Yeah, you have not been watching the rest of our episodes, which I understand, but at the same time, if you haven't watched our episodes, you know the shit that we have seen. Now, we have seen other Phase 4 films. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Stranded.
Really?
Yeah, Stranded was... I think so. I'm 95% sure. Don't fucking...
Because I know that was the Roger Christian movie with William Slater and whatnot.
I mean, I'm like I'm saying 95%.
I won't worry about it and whatnot. If you want to find out, go back to all of our old episodes.
I'm sure we mentioned it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We would definitely mention it.
Android Insurrection.
Plot.
Or
try.
I will give the IMDb plot, and then I'll give what actually came across in the movie. Let's get this started. Earth. Age 23. Elite group of soldiers is sent to a secret government research station in order to destroy the supercomputer, which rebelled against their creators. On site, it is apparent that the machine is much stronger than expected. That's what they wanted you to come across. Yeah. Here's what we actually got across. A ragtag bunch of mercenaries is in the future, and they kill a bunch of robots in a sort of, like, what's the best way to put it, Matrix? It's like humans versus robots going head-to-head because can they ever not? Really?
Yeah.
So ragtag bunch of mercenaries are sent in for one last job to get these group of androids that can help turn the tide of war in their favor. Shit gets very predictable. Very, very, very predictable the whole way through.
Alright, let's just start off with the first scene.
The first scene. Alright.
Now, alright, let's even go before the first scene. The opening credit sequence.
Oh my god.
Alright, now, like, it's all, like, 3D rendered shit for the most part, and, like, alright, I understand, and to be fair, it wasn't horrible.
No.
Like, to be honest, I've seen, like, this type of, like, setup is, like, you see this shit in Small Soldiers and whatnot.
What they were doing in this was a whole CGI setup, and it gave the prologue, pretty much.
just through an over narration and
of like
voiceover.
It gave the context for the human and robot interactions.
It basically seemed like sort of a government PSA sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's how you should react if approached by a robot. You don't have to work anymore because we've made robots. Therefore, don't fuck this shit.
Yeah, basically. And so it's like, just, don't try to give them orders or whatnot unless you're a trained professional.
Bless
you. But the fact of the matter is, as soon as this ends, it just jumps into a world where the shit that you just went through doesn't exist anymore. One, the credits were awful. Like, the sequence in and of itself, the 3D sequence was not bad. It was just basic for the most part. I could get it, but
the thing was that the sequence...
title cards
the sequence was made separately from the title cards.
Very.
Like, the title cards were thrown in afterwards. And if you ever have made a meme online, or you've read a meme online, you know that it's white font surrounded by black outline. The reason for such is that it stands out on almost any given background.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers don't get that. They just made it plain white text on what was usually a plain white background. So half the names, you just have a result based off of a tiny bit of drop shadow.
Or it was on numbers. There's one that was...
Oh my god.
There's a whole bunch of numbers that were across the screen and the title was over that. I didn't even know what the name was until,
I think it was the producer.
It was the producer. And I was like, it was Schlechtmeyer or
something like that.
Something like a very long last name. But besides the point of that, it just kind of... It gives that little introduction of how the aesthetic is going to be with this, but then it jumps right into the story without giving an actual prologue. Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, we're just expected to know what this movie's context is going to be the moment we start out. And alright, it begins with the ragtag, group of mercenaries.
Who are actually an elite group of soldiers.
Yeah, fuck that, no. Okay, even the soldiers in the Edge of Tomorrow would call these guys ridiculous. But the fact of the matter is that they're on this mission to rescue the prince. This little kid.
Oh my god,
I completely forgot about this guy because he doesn't come involved whatsoever. If he was actually a part of the entirety of the plot, it would have made more sense of having this kid be there. But at the same time, though, these guys are going and there's this giant gyrosphere robot thing that he is inside. And doesn't explain how the hell he was kidnapped or any of this stuff, or if he was kidnapped. But one way or another, he's in this giant thing. They're shooting at it. One, the gun effects in this.
We'll get to that.
Let's just say they're all Creative Commons Flash shit. It's the stuff that I would use because I have no money. But at the same time, it stops. Yeah. And the prince is there, but all of a sudden this android pops the fuck out of nowhere with a lightsaber.
Not even laser sword, technically, but it's a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, it's as much as a laser sword as the fucking laser sword in Super Smash Brothers, okay? Like, it's a lightsaber, everyone fucking knows it. And even it makes the same sound effects and the same motions when it goes in and retracts. Like, also, I will say, though, the keying effect is worse than most YouTube videos we've seen. Come on, guys. You can probably hire Frederick Wong for this shit.
I don't think they could. Not these guys.
Yeah, I guess not.
Not these guys.
But, then they defeat her and whatnot, and she's
and then they apparently just...
leave the prince there.
Fuck the king.
It's like, the royal family will be fine. If the movie in and of itself was about them getting the prince back, one, why were the robots kidnapping the prince in the first place? Well, and also, two, if the actual plot was about them getting the prince back to the royal family and whatnot, that would make sense for the opening. But they just leave him. They just leave him alone, and they go and try to do this whole thing that makes him look like they're trying to copy off the plot for Resident Evil.
I am going to argue that, in that I think what they were attempting to do, I'm not saying they did it well, but what I think they were getting across was showing that they are the best of the best.
They're incompetent. One of the people die and two of them get hurt.
But the fact that they were trusted to save royalty, that makes them like top men.
I get that, but at the same time, they just leave them. And even though the context of the dialogue kind of sets them up that they're coming to pick them up, you would think that it's still the prince. They'll still sit there and wait for the dropship to get there. There's a dropship that comes and picks them up, and they're like half a mile away from the gyrosphere thing. I'm like, why? And also, I want to say one thing, that about the robots, when they fight them in this movie, why? It seems like most of the time, bullets do nothing to these things, and yet they continuously keep shooting them. Regardless.
Yeah.
That's the problem when you are working on a set that you have no idea what the finished rendered model is going to look like when you're done.
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. There was one instance where it was the dropship. When they get dropped off at the base, at the actual location that the movie supposedly takes place in.
Yeah.
They are all in this ship. Like 6+ people. They are literally as tall as the ship coming out of it because they didn't model it correctly. They didn't angle the way that people were supposed to be coming off correctly. You need to have some sort of idea there. But anyway, one thing I wanted to cover though was I don't feel like the Prince thing was such a big thing, if only because what this movie does is it doesn't drop shit. Don't get me wrong, it brings stuff up and doesn't come back to it, but it's never big plot points that they forget. And the only thing that they really do terribly here is plot holes. The question of why the fuck don't they do this super obvious thing?
You could drive a battle cruiser through these plot holes.
God,
like, it's insane. You could drive the Enterprise through these plot holes, and it wouldn't even come close to grazing the sides.
One of the most glaring ones, at least that I happen to remember, I'm sure I'll come up with more, they are fighting against robots. Like, all these robots. Earlier today, they were killed by one of their teammates was killed by a Eura-class android. Okay? Not important that the name is there. But a Eura-class android. They are then going through this robot facility and being attacked by basically 100 droids. They then encounter a hallway filled with Eura-class androids. And the girl throws a grenade and kills most of them. I say most. One survived, and she's actually our supporting actress?
More or less.
So she's there. But they make this whole huge fucking deal. Oh, why did you kill them? They're the ones we're supposed to be here for. They're going to help us turn the tide of the war. Well, one of these guys killed one of my people.
Probably thought you were trying to take the prince.
The fucking guy who's there, who just seems like... Who's the dude from fucking Alien?
Bishop?
Yeah, Bishop. Fucking Bishop.
Bishop,
who's just like, oh, we have to follow the mission because... Follow the mission. Because follow the mission. Because follow the mission. Because follow the mission. It's like that fucking guy who just tags along on the mission. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck.
And it's like I'm
in command here!
And yet you're the most incompetent person here. Like, if these people were like the elite class of soldiers that the plot is supposed to be about, like, one, why would at all... this is not what I have a problem with these types of movies, for the fact of the matter is, like, alright, in Resident Evil, and this is done by Paul W.S. Anderson, he's not a competent filmmaker by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, though, in the first movie, they are told automatically off the board that the Red Queen, which was the supercomputer running the program, had gone postal. Yeah. They were given the information. They did not realize that the T-virus and all that kind of stuff had mutated everything and all that jazz because all that stuff kind of fell into place as the movie went on. Right. They are not given a solitary ounce of information. And they are just, people are being picked off and all that jazz. And then finally when it gets to a point, it's like, oh, these are the people we're sent to rescue and all that jazz. Why didn't you say that to begin with?
Well, that was the thing. They get off the dropship. And they're like, so, who are we supposed to call until we can be picked up? Oh, you're in radio silence. Oh.
It's shielded. I'll pick you up in 22 hours.
I'm so glad you told me that before I already took steps off the ship, you cunt.
Like, it's unbelievable. Like, these are the elite class. These are the people that are sent to retrieve this information. And also, this is a major plot point that I really wish that none of these movies seem to address. This movie especially. Alright. if this class of robot was already created, where are the plans? Like the actual blueprints of the actual robot. Why don't you go and just go get the fucking blueprints for it and rebuild the fucking thing somewhere else?
That was one of the things that I was saying earlier.
Or just steal her CPU or something like that.
Well,
You'd be able to get something.
The thing I was saying earlier was the whole thing that makes it a plot hole is this guy who's trying to be in command. I'm the one calling the shots here.
Because I need to be a dick for no reason because I'm the dick of the movie.
Because you need conflict between people and people. He is making this huge deal that they just destroyed these robots when there is one totally unharmed right there, right in front of him.
Yeah.
She's like down on the ground. She's kind of knocked out, but she is physically unharmed. What does Mr. Commander do? He pulls out a magic wand, basically, and he
says, I don't even know about this thing.
He sticks it in her neck. Boom! She wakes up totally fine. No problem. Why the fuck were you making a big deal if you could have just said, oh, I can wake her up?
And a major thing also after that fact, and this is really what pisses me off, is the fact of the matter is, as soon as you wake her up, the moment you say, we're going to go kill this thing, why don't you leave? They hadn't encountered this damn thing yet, mind you. Why don't you leave? You just go back the way you came. It's not even aware of your presence for all that, all you know. You go out of the ship, you go out of the goddamn laboratory, you get the dropship, and you tell them what had happened. There are people getting killed and all that kind of stuff. And also, the robot, the Euroclass robot or whatever the hell it is, she knows that the thing is in there. Because they helped build it, so she could automatically say, yo, there's this major hunter thing in here that will kill all of you in a fucking second.
Here's all you need to say. All you need to say.
Run!
To get out of there. You are extremely outclassed. At that exact moment, if they were even decent soldiers, they'd be like, let's leave.
It should have been the exact thing what the Red Queen says in Resident Evil. You're all going to die down here.
That's
like
fine.
Seriously, guys. Like, all right, and like you obviously see, like, one, I don't know how the Hunter class robot is able to do any of the shit, or the AI for that matter, because the AI supercomputer is going postal. Like he's going Red Queen.
I'm not even sure if he's going like based off of the IMDb. They're going in there, the whole thing that they're doing, the original story was they were going down there because the Euroclass were the ones who were building these Hunter robots.
So that means they were hooked up to the AI. It was kind of like an iRobot type of deal.
Like they had to have some sort of communication, which means they knew how also to take it out.
Yeah.
I think that was the initial plan. But then what they decided to do was say, well, fuck it, as long as we're down here, we may as well take out the entire supercomputer while we're at it. Bitch, no. And that's not what the plan is. If you are ever part of a military, you follow the fucking plan.
No. Well, the thing after that, when they actually, when the main actress, I'm not going to reveal the plot twist yet, but the thing is,
that's a twist.
No, but we knew this from the fucking get-go. We've seen wood natures and we've also seen wood, but at the same time, when the main actress, she gets out into the ship, and her colonel, who is
just a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, he is. He's got the Hitler stash. And hey, I'm not gonna knock it because really, Charlie Chaplin was the one who made that stash awesome.
But, yeah, but now we can't use it anymore.
But at the same time, he was German, and too many things alluded to Nazis. Seriously,
he was just following orders.
Yeah, he literally says that. But the thing is, though, the moment she walks outside and she's about to go get a gun and go back and get the robot, it's like, all right, this is the whole reason why this mission happened. He says to her, it's like the mission has been scrapped. They're gonna nuke this place. I'm like, that's exactly what she suggested before you dropped her the fuck off with everybody.
No, she said it twice. She said, why don't we nuke it? And then they just dodged the question. Then she said, so why don't we nuke it? And then they said, because we need those plans. It can help us in the future. It's like...
And yet, it ends up being your demise.
And yet they say, oh, you didn't get the plans? Cool, we're going to nuke it.
Yeah. It's like
glad I thought of it.
It's considered to be too dangerous and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, guys, really? Come on. Like,
Alright, hold on.
Alright, I'm not great. Yeah. I'm not great when it comes down to writing sci-fi or really evaluating sci-fi and all that stuff. And actually, I do have a video where I think of my top 10 favorite sci-fi films on the channel. And the reasons for me choosing those movies is because not only are they extremely well made and whatnot, but also the stories make fucking sense in tandem to the message you're trying to get across. This movie is like a hodgepodge of things that you realize that were really awesome in other movies, like fucking iRobot and Alien. They bring the goddamn android shit in from Alien.
We need to address one very important thing here.
Yeah.
And it relates to plot holes, but it's ever so slightly different. If you make a movie, and you set said movie in the distant future, 518 years in the future. Fucking make it 518 years in the goddamn future.
This is 50 years in the future at best.
No. That's, no, with the way technology is growing,
I know, that's
the current path.
Alright, 20 years.
There is a moment.
A generation
in this movie where the Euroclass android does some language system initiated. Oh, no, watch out.
It talks?
They are impressed that this robot talks. Bitch, I got that shit. May not be AI in its full potential, but this shit, I hold down this button, you know what it says? Beep! That's what it says. And it follows up with words, which it will in a second because it didn't cancel that. Oh, everything's okay.
But yeah, basically we have the ability. And also the fact of the matter is, dude, a GPS can fucking talk.
But no, it can talk now. I mean, I understand it's a working class robot, and maybe you don't want to get the working class robots the ability to talk. Maybe that's what they were going for. But if so, write that shit in. You seem impressed that every robot is able to talk.
It's not just that. Because I realized something. It's like, the fact of the matter is, from the very beginning of the movie, that it sets up this aesthetic that robots are designed to be farmers, to be educators, to be, you know, basically slaves in a way. Mm-hmm. And, okay, we've had that type of setup before. But so what's so different about the Euroclass robot except for the fact that it looks like a goddamn girl? Is it like Pris in Blade Runner? Can it fuck you? I mean, like I see no other goddamn reason for this robot being so monumentally breaking through.
Basically, what you have is you have the Euroclass, which is the human android. It's the ones that are the most humanistic. Then you have the hunter-killer robots, which are basically the T-800s.
Yeah.
In their core form. They're a bit more bulky and boxy, but they're all like all the metal is showing. They aren't made to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
And then you have the AI, which is basically Hal on
He's Hal mixed together with GLaDOS.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what he is. He has that calm, soothing voice that both of them share. That one that's like, oh, everything's just going to be okay. What's that? Murdering humans? All right. You keep talking. I like it.
I mean, it's just... It's mind-boggling to me. Like, at the same time, like... I can't... The sets are reused... like constantly too, like you're trying to make believe that this thing was like really big and all that jazz.
We're going through this entire facility with
and
thousands of rooms.
All you're doing is turning the camera to another corner of the fucking room. I mean, alright, I understand, guys, you're working it with a limited budget and all that jazz. You use what you can to try to create this world. But at the same time, you'd have better chances just sticking to the hallways you guys designed. Because that is much, it'd be like Doom. Like, you know, you'd be at least able to understand that. We saw, or at least I saw for that matter, you saw, well, there's this wonderful little door that said no exit. Ha, plug. But at the same time, though, we see it supposedly in several different rooms, but I'm like, it's the same fucking angle in the same fucking room every fucking time, you motherfuckers.
If you're going to make the same room over and over again, then you at least have to dress it differently each time you approach it.
Actually, the perfect example of this is Mad Men. Mad Men is probably one of the best examples of set design and cinematography because almost every solitary office used in Mad Men is the same fucking room that is redressed to make it look like somebody else's office. Every single time. And you know what? You never notice it because they're really good. You'd have to go into the goddamn special features of these things to actually find this shit out. You know why? Because that is good fucking set design. This is lazy as shit. This is basically what you guys are saying. It's like, alright, we have this one warehouse that we can use for a day. Let's shoot everything we possibly can in this
warehouse.
They don't even move shit around. It's the same setup every single time.
Which is what we should bring up in our studies, in our analytics of this movie. We discovered this is essentially a student film.
Basically.
We are like 99% sure that this is a student film or something so ridiculously close to the idea of a student film, it may as well be a student film.
I have a couple friends from, my college days and whatnot who have made basically the same type of shit. And they were working with even less crew than these people apparently are working with. Now, I'm not going to knock people for trying to do something what they want to do, but we looked into the actual filmography of this company.
And I'm not going to judge it by its other filmography, but it seems like this company has a very long history
of making the same movie.
Same movie, but big ideas on too small of a budget.
And there's plenty of things like, alright, in my personal opinion, one of the best sci-fi movies that's come out on a shoestring budget is a movie called Ink. And it was still made like on $250,000. So it was made with a big budget, considerably from my point of view anyway. Mm-hmm. But the same thing at the same time, in the grand scheme of budgets, it's minuscule. Yeah. But they were able to do so much with it. These people started out making a movie for Asylum. Am I right on that?
I don't know if it started out, but it was very...
Or at least it was sold by Asylum. Before they made their final production company, which... What is it called again?
It is Pandora Machine...
Pandora Machine.
Film.
Yeah, Pandora Machine.
Yeah, Pandora Machine. It's a movie. That's what it is. It's a movie company.
Yeah, and I love how in the blurb that it says, it's released by Asylum, and the blurb says
not this movie.
Yeah, the Pandora Machine, which the company is named after, and I love how it says that what was it?
Okay.
The name of the movie.
The original name had been Command and Conquer, but while in the shower in the morning before the first day of shooting, I came up with the name Pandora Machine. Nobody, period. I mean, nobody liked the name but me. So let's name our whole production company after it.
And they still kept the name.
We're nitpicking against things that aren't the movie.
To be fair and whatnot, I have all respect for the guy, the person. I don't know exactly.
Bell. I'll continue talking.
I have respect for the guy. Sticking with what he thinks is a cool name for a movie and all that jazz. I have more power to you. More power to you. I at the same time, Andrew Bellware. To be fair, like there are there's a handful, very small handful of stuff in these movies that I can at least accept, if not like
the CGI is great
for what it is. Yeah,
for what it is. Yeah, it seems like they got a lot of it just like straight offline,
and there's a lot of reused, lots of reused shit.
But it's good to the point that when it's combined with the live action stuff, which isn't as good, it's noticeable.
If this, alright, the CGI, especially like the actual computer animation of like the robots and like that, especially that big ass gyrosphere in the beginning, that probably was the best thing I saw in the entire movie.
It was that and the like main AI for me.
Yeah, and also the dropship wasn't bad.
Dropship was alright, depending on the shot though.
Yeah, and also like the giant like factory and all that jazz. But the fact of the matter is, if you guys had actually animated this movie instead, using all of those types of render models, it actually would not have been nearly as bad.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we would have had still all the qualms with like all the plot points, and the plot holes, and all the misconstrued ideas of what this movie could have been. The fact of the matter is, though, it would have been a lot more bearable to watch. I mean, the moment Phase 4 popped on the goddamn screen, we were all both ready to walk out of the room.
Okay.
I laughed my ass off, but still.
I don't know. There were a couple things that... Should we just do final thoughts, or is there anything else?
Go for it. I'm pretty much going just rounding the corner here.
I'll go first. There were a couple of things about this movie that I did like. I mean, the CGI was good. They had. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an overused concept. The man versus machine and AI is taking up. It's a really overwrought concept.
But at the same time,
they were trying a new idea on it, and it didn't work. They were trying a new idea of just whatever they were doing, and it didn't work. And I can accept that if you don't want to follow what's been tried and true and has always worked, the Matrix, the Terminators, the movies like that, that's fine. You don't have to. Oh, right. Almost forgot. Twist in the movie, main girl who's totally...
This is where Alien comes in.
This is where Terminator Salvation as well. She's a robot.
Yeah.
And she didn't know it.
Yeah.
So, good on her. So anyway, there's that.
Also, I mean, that's now we're Alien comes in because it's like all like white foam and shit like that. No, actually, what comes into play with that is actually Blade Runner with the replicants and whatnot. Anybody who's seen that movie, you're ahead of the curve.
Anyway, anybody who's seen Blade Runner is ahead of the curve 30 years later.
Yeah. Even though technically that movie is supposed to take place this year.
All right then, there you go. We're topical. But no, I can't fault it for trying something new and it's just not working out. But what I can fault it for is it really didn't seem like they thought through anything they did in this movie. Their character motivations were all over the fucking place. Their characters as a whole were just completely undeveloped. There was Southern guy, there was muscle, there was girl, there was medic, there was tough girl.
There was dick.
There was dick, and there was robot. And they could have any motivation you damn well please. Do they like the robots in this scene? Okay. Do they smoke? Probably not. Do they... You could just throw any character motivation at this, and it would be fine. That was the one thing I pointed out to you early on in the movie. When they're having their, like, briefing scene, right? Here's your mission. You're going to be doing this. They repeat each other's characters' names instead of saying he, she, they. They say the characters' names every time, as if, like, we're going to forget, because, as you notice, we haven't been fucking saying them, because they were bland and forgettable. Even with them saying it a billion times, nothing stuck.
I know that one character was named after the last name of the director.
Yes.
But at the same time, I already had forgotten.
Yeah. So, sorry about that. But yeah, it's Belware.
Belware, there we go.
I don't know. I really like, when it comes down to sci-fi movies, especially ones that have, like, in the future sort of thing, they put some thought and effort into creating something that's believable in some way. That's what science fiction instead of science fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to just shut my brain off and say, okay, there are little green aliens. Speaking of which, the Netflix said this was an alien-infested planet.
Yeah. This is Earth.
This is age 23. We covered that in the IMDb one. But we'll take that as a Netflix error, maybe. I just really wish they would have thought through everything they did more so that it wasn't as much as a here's another robot movie. The entire ending of the movie, the epilogue, which has the AI taking over like 2 years later, a year later, and then just laying down laws. It's like, alright humans, here's what you can do. Shut the fuck up. Alright, cool.
Go the fuck to sleep.
That whole thing is supposed to lay down some morals, some like, oh, here's some things to think about, like the laws of robotics and stuff.
Yeah, the laws of robotics as dictated by robots instead.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was going for like the deep and it just missed out on the very important things, or if it was not sure what it was trying to do. But whatever it was, it needed to figure it out before it came to light as this. Matthew.
Well, the final thoughts that I really have, I mean, one, the line delivery in this movie was appalling. Because, like, everybody, like, there was that one shot, especially, I just remember this, like, there was this one shot that was constantly moving around the two main actresses, you know, the main actress who finds out she's a robot, and the robot who was established as a robot. Yeah. And they don't say their lines until the camera has already focused on their face.
And they don't always cut.
Alright, have you guys seen Quentin Tarantino? He does revolving shots a lot and whatnot, but the conversation keeps moving. You know who's talking. You understand what's going on. You don't need to see the person's face in order to make sure this thing works.
Hold up your hand. All right, so here are the two people talking. Let's do it like that direction. Okay. So here are the two. Here are the two people talking. So right now Matt's would be talking. Pause. Now mine would talk. Pause. Now his would talk, and it
would just be pauses,
dead space,
and also
the entire rest of the time.
Also, you're a robot, whatever, and whatnot. Her lines were always just kind of like, no,
single,
yeah,
word.
no.
No.
I'm like, come on, guys, seriously. And like, to be fair, I can't necessarily fault the actors for this necessarily. It was very bad direction, and. I'm not gonna entirely not. I mean, the guy, you made a month movies. You got movies on Netflix. You've already accomplished something. You accomplished more than I have been able to in the terms of distribution here. But at the same time, though, come on, take a couple acting classes. Like, I personally believe that every director needs to take an acting class at least. I worked in theater before I ever got into making movies, because the fact of the matter is, you need to be able to work with actors, understanding the acting process in order to get a good performance out of them. Now, I'm not going to just keep going into all that kind of stuff because then we're going to go into my movies and all that. We don't need to talk about that. But the fact of the matter is, going back to this movie, there's a handful, as I said, a very small handful of things that I could pass off. The CGI was passable for what it was. And there was a couple elements of it. I'm like, okay, I can get this, but there was so much muddling. The screenplay was awful. The screenplay was constantly repetitive. Made absolutely no sense, no logical sense either. Like, it wasn't just in a story base and whatnot. All the characters were unbelievable stereotypes, in the most boring possible ways. You didn't even make them overly colorful. You just kind of like, meh.
The muscle guy. Like, his name was Hammermill. I remember Hammermill. Hammermill, because it's strong. Hammermill. He never once cursed.
No.
He was like, dang it. Heck. Whereas you had Tough Girl going like, fucking bitch!
But he's like, oh, crappity.
Crappity. He said crappity.
Yeah.
He said crap. Is that like...
Is he a Mormon?
What?
Like, because, like, maybe he's not allowed to swear or all that kind of stuff?
I tried explaining it away of, it's 2500 speak.
No, they're the same thing. We're gonna shoot that fucker. Like, it goes back to the fact that this is 500 years in the future, and these people are still using bullets and stuff like that. I'm like, it's like, what about plasma? I'm like, oh, so this. Now, to be fair, if you go, you can make an argument like, that this could be like in Fallout style, like type of stuff and whatnot, where they're still using regular ammunition, but also using like plasma rifles and all that kind of stuff. But I don't believe this is a post-apocalyptic world, because at the very end of the movie, it cuts to New York City, and it's completely okay.
No. It was destroyed.
But it was completely okay with the live-action shots.
Yeah, everything was fine there. It was a problem of a disconnect, really. Like, the entire movie supposedly took place in the Philadelphia desert.
Which, to be fair, if you've seen how dirty Philly is and whatnot, you can understand.
And then there was
I love Philly, by the way. Don't worry about it.
There was a decrepit New York City shown in the epilogue part. But then there's this strange disconnect.
But at the same time, though, the decrepit thing was also going on at the same time the air raid siren. So I have a feeling that it was attacked recently.
Possibly, but either way, it wasn't as it was in the tinier.
How come Philly gets destroyed, but New York's okay? If anything, New York would go first. Why would
Philly?
City of
brotherly hate.
Yeah, more or less. You've been to Philly. It's not a very lovely place.
The one disconnect that really happened, though, was the part where he's saying, all right, plan scrapped, we're going to nuke it. He used the line, going to nuke the planet.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if that was a different version of the script that didn't get changed or something, but it implied that they weren't on Earth, or at least they had the ability to leave with zero repercussions. That they were willing to nuke an entire planet. When they did drop the nuke, though, the thermonuclear device, as they repeated over the intercom several times, mild.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything to the planet.
No.
At all.
And at the same time, though, the funny thing is, they were able to outrun it.
In 1 second.
All right, this isn't
in 1 second.
This isn't the core, people. And besides, the core actually, as much as fucked up and not correct as the science was in that movie and whatnot, it was still enjoyable.
At least the internal logic was all right on them.
Yeah, for the most part.
All right.
But, basically, yeah, that's it.
All right. Those are our thoughts on Android Insurrection.
Yeah. End review.
Well,
that was an ambiguous ending.
Some road, it's tricky. And girls enjoy, they feel so lucky. Loving it, quits running out.